Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So I decided to pick up the vlog today. You know, we keep the vlog super chill. The dishwasher is going. I don't know how much you can hear that, so I do apologize, but let's address the elephant in the room before we get into the video. I did bleach my eyebrows, finally. I vlogged it, but I don't know what video I was vlogging it for. So that's why I have not posted about them yet, but I will have a YouTube short posted of it. Aside from that, I'm gonna go ahead and just insert the footage now. Hey guys! So I know I said I was gonna do like a faux bleached brows look just with makeup. I'm just too impatient. I did a little filter on TikTok where it like does all the different eyebrows, and I liked myself best with no eyebrows, and I was like, I just need to fucking bleach them. Like, what am I doing? So that's what I'm doing. I am going to put a little bit of Aquaphor around them just to kind of protect my skin a little bit here. I have 30 volume, which is probably a little ambitious. I don't think I really need that because, as you can see, my eyebrows are actually pretty light naturally. And then I have my big old bucket of bleach, a coloring bowl, and my brushes. I'm not gonna bother putting gloves on for this. It's fine. I'm literally going to take that much, which is probably too much. See, the only thing that I'm nervous about is that I hope it lightens enough. I don't want to have to do 2 rounds, but if I have to, I have to, because I don't have any toner. That is how you know I'm a professional hairstylist. First tea, and that's the perfect mixture. Okay, I'm gonna have to move you guys, so please bear with me here. You're currently my plant. The bleach is in, babes. I don't know how long to leave this on for, so I'm just gonna periodically check on it, but I'm not gonna go more than like 20 minutes probably. I am gonna take some Q-tips and get this off of my skin. I am gonna save this bleach just in case I need to do 2 rounds. That way I don't have to mix more up, but I will check in with you guys in a little bit. I look actually crazy right now, mainly because my bangs are back, but this angle and the lighting is also not helping me. Okay, friends, it's been probably close to 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it off and just see how it's looking. I mean, from what I can... Is my phone moving? I'm so sorry. It's looking pretty promising, actually. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be very yellow when I take this off, so I will probably do 1 more round of bleach just to make them as light as humanly possible, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. It's not burning too bad. I'm glad I protected my skin, even though it was just with Aquaphor. It was at least something, so let's just see where we're at. Interesting. I'm switching to a damp washcloth instead because that did not do what I needed it to do. Wait, I love them. Oh my god. Why did I not do this sooner? And you know, I kept telling myself too, like, if I end up literally hating it, I can always just either, for 1, dye them back, or for 2, like, say if there's just like a day that I'm not feeling it, it would be so easy to just go back in and like fill them in. I don't know, I really don't hate the color. I look why do I look so bad in the camera? In person, like, I'm obsessed. Chris is gonna shit his pants. He actually knows that I've been wanting to do this, and he's very supportive. He's like, yes, you're gonna slay the weird girl alien look, do it. It's so nice to have such a supportive partner. I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 more round just because I feel like you can only really tell in person, but I definitely missed just a little bit on the bottom half of my eyebrows, and I feel like the front, because it's a lot thicker, it didn't lighten quite as well as the tails did. The tails look great, but yeah, I'm gonna just basically go over... Jesus H. Get it together, girl. I'm just gonna go over them 1 more time for good measure. I feel like I was in the middle of saying something and just didn't finish my sentence. Can y'all remind me? Why do I like how it looks with the bleach on even? Do you guys think I'm losing it? I promise I'm fine. I remember what I was saying. BRB. I was starting to tell you guys that I've been really wanting to change something about my appearance because I just don't feel very slay. Like, I literally did a glow up video, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago max. My roots are already freaking grown out, so I think doing the 10 volume on just my roots did me literally no good. I'm trying to commit to going to dark brown because I know it's going to be a lot easier on me to not have to worry about my roots anymore, and I don't know. I have such a love-hate relationship with the black. Like, I love it. I think it's iconic, but especially, like, I don't wear makeup every day, which is another part of the reason I was a little scared to bleach my brows. And I don't know, I think sometimes the black can kind of wash me out because it is so harsh, and I just have so much pink in my skin that I feel like it kind of brings that out a little bit. But when I have makeup on, I'm like, black hair is the best decision I've ever made. So I don't know. I am scared that I'm gonna regret not doing the black, but I'm just so sick of keeping up with my roots because evidently my hair grows very fast. Anywho's, sorry, that was a big tangent. I'm gonna rinse out my bowl, let this sit on for just a couple more minutes. That was that. Now let's get into the rest of today's video. I am currently just chilling in my living room, and if you guys have been following along since we've moved into this place, you know how much I have been just utterly struggling with this room. I've never had a living room before. I've only ever had bedrooms, and that's why I think it was so easy for me to, for one, just decorate and like put together my room, but for two, to really mood board and create a vision for it. I mean, obviously we already pretty much had everything for our bedroom, and then I got so lucky and found my dream my dream, I tell you, matching bedroom set. This apartment was such a huge upgrade for us because we were living in a studio, and before that we were literally living in rooms at our parents' house. So this again was just the first time that we've ever really had this much space to work with, and although it's been so fun, it's definitely been a very slow work in progress, which is totally fine. And the main reason that is aside from, like, you know, not everybody has the money to just instantly furnish their home, but it's not even so much about money for me as I am just an avid thrifter, and a lot of my furniture, like the bookshelves behind me, I have gotten for free because I've just been extremely patient and really manifested what I wanted, and I've been incredibly lucky again to find things curbside or in alleyways, near dumpsters, etc. Which leads me to my most recent find. I promise we'll come back to the living room in a minute, but I have to show you what I found if you guys want to see the whole behind the scenes, because I was not vlogging this because we found them at nighttime. Go to my Instagram, make sure you're following me there. I've been trying to post reels more consistently, and of course you can follow me on TikTok as well. I pretty much share the same videos on both platforms, but unfortunately I can't post everything as a YouTube short because the limit is a minute. Whatever. Anyways, check out what I got. This is just so exciting because we have the matching bedroom set. You know, the vanity, the dresser, the headboard. The only thing we've been missing were nightstands. We had these cheap, awful tables from Five Below for the longest time. And that's right, baby. I found matching vintage nightstands. And hear me out, okay? They are in very rough condition, okay? But I literally don't care because the bones of them are in perfect condition, and it would be, I don't know, maybe not the easiest task, but it wouldn't be impossible to just sand these down and restain them. It might be hard to match to the wood, honestly, because this is both a trim and our furniture set are like a very old vintage stain that has been aging for years. I watch McKenna on YouTube, and she just went through that whole thing in her living room, and she's basically a pro, and it was not easy for her. So that's why I'm like, it'll be a task, but honestly, they don't stand out that much in here to me, because I've been so used to having those tiny round Five Below tables. I was like, is this too big for the space? I had to shift our bed way over. I had to rehang our art. Oh, I also got that little shelf at the Goodwill bins, and it matches in here so well. I took our hanging mirror off of the wall. You can kind of see the wall patch. Listen, it happened, okay? And I just have it leaning here. I'm eventually gonna hang that inside of our closet door. It's a whole work in progress always, because I do thrift everything. The only thing left is that I still really want to replace this whole plant stand, because it does not match anything in here. The only thing it's good for is displaying this much decor, but like, honestly, I'm just over it. I want more clothing storage for us really badly. That's like my number one thing. And I want something, obviously, that matches better. Our TV is way too high up. I would like it to be right about there. So I'm on the search. I'm currently manifesting a new dresser. I would like to get a long one that matches this, but I understand that that is an incredibly tall order, because this is an antique set from like the 1800s. So, you know, even matching the wood stain, I feel, is a very tall order. So I have a few ideas. This is basically just one giant like house update video, so I hope that's cool with you guys. I would be okay with a couple different things. I think most ideally, like I said, would be that longer type of dresser, but I would also be happy with an armoire that I could paint, and I would want to paint it black, I think. And then that has me, should I paint the nightstands black, or at least just paint like the tops of them black, and then worry about the rest of them at a later time? I don't really know. I'm not one for painting vintage furniture at all, but almost all of the armoires that I'm finding are already painted, so black is pretty much the only color that I would want to do. And I'm trying to bring more black accents in, because my bestie gave me her old black silk pillowcases, and I found these table runners to protect our nightstands for now, until I decide exactly what I'm going to do with them. So that's why I'm like, I wouldn't mind to keep bringing more little pops of black in here. Oh, another thing, if you guys remember, I had my swan painting, or print rather, right here. I found that at the Goodwill bins as well. It was the exact same size and shape as the swans, so I put it in here because the green matches the green velvet of my chair. Like, I swear to God, the universe takes the best care of me. I could go on a whole rant about that, but let's stay focused here. So again, the nightstands, let me just show you a close-up too, because I totally forgot to mention this. The amount of detail. Chris is going to the chiropractor. Look at all of this, all the like indents, the legs. These are unfortunately not drawers, they're faux, but the hardware is giving antique, and that's what really sold me on these. Again, I think if I were to just stain it like it matches these legs, and this chair goes perfectly in here. So I don't think it like needs to look super antique. As long as I get the wood stain right, it's gonna blend right in and match perfectly, because look at the detail on that, and then look at the detail on there. Tell me that doesn't have very similar energy. But the story goes, one of my closest friends actually just moved right down the street from me. She's only like a block away, and we made it our mission. Chris and I have been going on walks very regularly. It's actually one of my new favorite habits that we've picked up, and because we live so close to them, we were like, why don't we all go on walks together whenever it's possible to link up? And my favorite time to walk is in the evening time, but this particular day, Chris had gotten off work pretty late, so we weren't able to go on a walk until like 8:30. So it was pretty much already dark out. It was kind of like blue hour, which is my favorite. And we're on this walk with them. I was literally right in the middle of saying, this is exactly how we always find furniture, is when we're walking. Like, I mean, definitely if we're driving around too, but we're most likely in an alleyway if we're taking a walk around the neighborhood, and I find furniture that way all the time. And literally before I could get that sentence out, Chris starts sprinting towards these. Next to a dumpster, there was a coffee table. I'll insert a picture of that here because we did not grab that because we don't need a coffee table. But I simply could not pass on these nightstands because I've been searching ever since we moved in here. If not even before that, I've been trying to decide on what kind of nightstands I would want, and I've always known I want something vintage, but even looking in thrift stores, in antique stores, on Facebook Marketplace, like, I just wasn't finding what I wanted, at least not for like a good price. I mean, honestly, I feel like these nightstands, granted if they were in better condition, could easily go for like 200 plus on Facebook Marketplace. At least in my research, but it's almost impossible to find things in matching pairs. So, needless to say, I am absolutely over the moon with this find. It's like, I don't want to say it keeps getting better, but it's just actually crazy to constantly speak out into the universe like, yeah, this is what I would like to do, this is what I'm looking for, and then it just appears to me. Like, it's crazy. And we'll go ahead and get into the little thrifting secondhand vent that I was just about to get into a second ago, is that I feel, this might be a pretty strong opinion, but I just feel like when you have your own unique vision for what you want, it gives it like an art to thrifting. Because, I mean, let's be real, even in a generalized sense, not everyone is looking for the same thing. I mean, there's definitely like the trendy type of items that people are looking for, but I think when you really have a unique vision and your own sense of style, it's gonna be out there. You know, there is so much stuff going around planet Earth, okay? I think that if you just are looking for what you are looking for, people will just be able to find their own unique things. I know, Kitty, it's really rude for people to just sit and rev their cars on our street every fucking day. But anyways, I hope that makes sense. That's at least the way that I look at it, because, you know, I think this sort of antique style, although a lot of people do love it when they're in my home or even you guys online, they really, really appreciate it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's everyone's personal style. I just have to show my appreciation for the fact that I get so incredibly lucky. Like, lucky girl syndrome is so real, and manifestation is so real, and I'm just so incredibly thankful that even though it's taken over a year, that we've just been able to literally make our apartment our dream apartment. So that is where we are going to go back into the living room, because like I said, the only thing left in here is the plant shelf, and I'm not going to get rid of this, I don't think. I think I actually want to put it on our balcony and grow more like outdoorsy type of plants out there. But until then, who knows how long it's going to take us to find something for in here. I'm really, 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 really hoping that we can find something by the end of summer, because I would like to actually see this outside. You know, I just can't do anything about the background noise. I'm sorry. That's just like wishful hoping. You really cannot put a time stamp on manifesting at all. Not even just manifesting, curating too. Like, when you're doing it secondhand, you don't know when you're gonna find your perfect piece. But anyways, let me update you guys on the state of the living room currently. So the first big update is that our friends came over and helped us reinstall our AC units, which was so easy, by the way. But they helped us hang our freaking guitars. Finally! I am so stoked. So if you guys remember, I've only had this one in the middle hung up because that's the only place I could get my drill to go into the wall. Sorry. We finally got Chris's electric guitar hung up and my bass that my dad recently gave us. They're definitely not maybe perfectly centered on this wall. I feel like there's a little bit more of a gap right here. So I'm currently debating if I might want to move my fig tree over here, because I feel like it would do better having a little bit more light, but I just don't know, because we kind of need this plant stand here to do some cord management, and I just don't want to, like, I don't know, I'm just really undecided. But the shelving is perfect, and as soon as we hung these guitars up, I actually scooted our couch way over because it looked super unbalanced and it felt so crowded over here. So that's been nice to really open this area up. I also the other day rehung the Beatles poster so that it was actually centered with the bookcases now. That was a whole task. Oh, I made the kitty bed and I put their kitty pillow from the bins on it. It's so cute. And then over here, I always pretty much have my hair station set up because I've been doing hair so much, which is such a blessing, but it's just, it never feels worth it to fully break down my station. So the living room kind of looks like this a lot, which could be worse, but it just feels really crowded. Why is there a sock on the floor? Who knows? Here's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm pretty much just gonna have to send it and see how I like it, but Chris has his whole fingerboard station here, and I am not gonna touch this. He deserves his space in the home, and it's totally fine. I don't hate it at all. It's actually a great conversation starter when people come into our house, but this desk under here is not being utilized at all. Chris has not sat at this desk in months, like literally since he built this park. And this table was handmade, but I did thrift it, and it's one of my most prized pieces for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm so in love with it, and it matches the wood tone of our coffee table perfectly. I was sitting here pondering, and I actually think that this table would make a much better TV stand than that tiny little shelf, because it is just so crowded, especially because I have to have the mirror layered over the TV. The TV is bigger than the shelf. And then it is nice that people can sit in my chair and we can, you know, make conversation about my VHS collection. That's great. But it's just, the shelf is too small. I love the shelf so much. It's a perfect mid-century modern little shelf. It's so cute. So I think I'm just gonna swap the two pieces because I still need that shelf currently. I eventually think I would like to get some sort of, I don't know, I'm on the fence, like either kind of a buffet credenza type of situation or an actual, this has been a long time dream, is to get a record cabinet that works, which is another very, very tall order. That is something that will be expensive to get one that is working. I obviously have a record player, so I don't really need one, you know, and that's why I'm like, wait, this table might be perfect. And I also am not gonna lie, I don't like having the mini drum kit just out. Like, it's cute, it's another conversation starter, and I need to keep this handy because Chris, believe it or not, does actually use this to jam on. It doesn't sound very good, but you know, he has fun with it. That's all that matters. I think it's gonna fit just fine behind the couch, which will be hidden. And then, you know, it's another, just all of our instruments are together because we also have a keyboard tucked under our couch. It's a lot going on, guys, I know. This is why I want to fix it. That was a very, very, very long-winded update. I appreciate you guys sticking around while I just chat. But I'm gonna throw you guys up on a tripod on a time lapse, and we're just gonna start moving some things around, and I'm gonna feel it out, see what I think. Oh my gosh, that took so long because the cable management was definitely something I had thought could potentially be a problem. I ended up doing some different extension cord situations, which I think works. Like, does it look the best? Definitely not. The old shelf hid the cords much, much better, but you know, I'm just working with what I've got here, and I am gonna clean it up even a little bit more. I like it much more. I think that it looks more like a TV stand than the other shelf did. The ratio is a lot better. So yes, I'm overall very, very happy with this. It's pretty much styling time. I've done all the cleaning, I've done all the rearranging. Another huge benefit is that honestly, most of the time, like I said, I leave my hair station up. So having this desk here is going to allow for whenever I'm done with the haircut, I can tuck it in much more than I could before. And honestly, that's low-key, now that I just did that, that's kind of cool. Like, it looks like a desk. It is a desk. It's a table, I don't know. This was a huge win. I'm very, very happy I did this, but I'm ready to get my living room back in order because it feels crazy in here right now. So I just wanted to check in, but I'm gonna throw you guys right back on a time lapse. Okay, friends, I can confidently say the living room is done. I went ahead and swept the floors and mopped them. I have everything in its right place and it looks so good. I am genuinely so pumped with how it turned out. Without further ado, here's the living room. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, I'm so stoked. Let me give you a tour, This is how Chris's station is looking now. I actually like it so much better without the rug. You guys would not believe the amount of shit that came out of that rug. There was so much dust and dirt and old leaves. Like, it was a lot. And I think it really opens up this whole side of the room a lot more. He originally wanted a rug for when he sat here and was drawing or editing at his desk, but he does not work in here. He just fingerboards in here. If he is working at the computer, he sits at the dining table, which is totally fine. So I'm glad that I rearranged this to make way more sense. And the shelving, I think, actually looks pretty cool together. Like, if his fingerboard table wasn't there, I couldn't say that I would be loving this at all. I actually have no idea what I would be doing with this space. So this works well for us. I know that this is not everybody's situation, but it's ours, and I'm happy that we found a way to make it work. That is all of his supplies, and then I put all of his ramps and things as decor on these shelves. I left the top of this completely open for my cats. This does give them so much more room to sit up here, and then we do put a little bit of decor in the windowsill as well. This is our plant corner. We just have 2 different monsteras and our lamp right here, and our disco ball, of course, and our colored lights. Something that was a very small change but made such a difference. I swapped out the yellow blanket that was on our couch for this red striped one, and it actually perfectly ties in with our rug, and I think even kind of ties in our pink chair over here too. So I love how that looks. I also got that pillow from the Goodwill bins, and I would like to get even one other cool kind of eclectic type of pillow. And then again, we have all of our guitars hung. Funny enough, I actually was not in love with this rug whenever we first got it, and I thought of it as a very temporary thing, but it's actually grown on me a lot. I think it definitely competes with the couch a little bit, but the oval shape is unmatched. It's almost hard to picture a square, or I guess more rectangle rug in here. Not saying I would never do it, but I do really like this rug. And I like bringing in the pops of maroons and navies, all the darker colors, because I don't know, this room, I couldn't put an aesthetic on it. It's really just a mashup of all the fun things that we love, you know? It's got fingerboarding, it's got music, it's got movies and records, cassettes, game, like, it's everything. This is our big hangout room. Anyways, this is the coffee table. This is the current setup. I moved the taper candle into our bedroom, so there's just these 3 things, which I think looks really good. I do love that. And then in this corner, this little park is temporary. Chris is painting that for his friends, so that won't be in here much longer. And I have my little record box. I have a tiny bird of paradise that I feel is kind of hanging on for dear life, but it's one of the first ones I got, and I really like it in this corner. I just have been keeping my windows wide open so that all the plants can get as much light as humanly possible. As you can see, we do get direct sunlight in the evenings, which is nice. And then obviously the kitty bed, which is usually shifted over a little bit, but it looks so cute in here now, and I'm just so happy I created more space in this area. Nothing really changed on our shelves, if I'm being honest. I pretty much just added that little jar and the brass watering can because I no longer had a spot for them over there. So I feel like these shelves have so much going on. I can't keep adding too much to them, but I'm happy with where they're at right now. There's no way that I want to change them at all, so that's cool. I thrifted this Celestial pillow a long time ago, and I recently found this Western style blanket, which is anything in here Western? No, not really, but I think it looks really cool on the chair, and it matches the same material, the tapestry type material that the pillow is. We have our cassette corner with the sunset lamp and all the cool lighting on this wall. This is always catty cornered. Again, I won't always have my station set up necessarily. I mean, it's up most of the time, but if I'm not feeling lazy, I do put that table away, and I think I'll be more inclined to. And then this chair, as you saw, can really tuck back into the desk, which is really nice. And we have the little entryway station with shoes and the mirror so you can check yourself on the way out. Then we also have our coat rack and a skateboard in here. It's it's the most eclectic room in the house by far, but I finally like where we're at with it. I really don't know what else I could add into this video, and I have no idea how long it's gotten, but I feel like I should go ahead and just wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the house updates. I say house, it's our home, it's an apartment, whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys know what I mean. Thank you guys so much for joining along. I know the updates are kind of few and far between, but it's just how it goes in the real world, so. Tell me what you guys think of how the living room has turned out. This isn't necessarily a makeover by any means, but it's honestly just so crazy how impactful these small changes can be in a space. And you know, the longer you live somewhere, you can kind of rearrange and figure out what works for you, and that's very much what we've been doing. I'm again just so happy with everything. It's so cozy in here. I actually like to hang out in here during the day. It gets the most light by far in our apartment. Our room has been super dark, except for like first thing in the morning, which is totally fine. It makes it a nice cozy vibe in there. I've been loving spending more time in here, and this is where Chris spends most of his time, so it's nice, you know, when we have friends over, it's fun to sit in the living room. I just feel like for the longest time, I spent pretty much no time in here because it didn't feel very homey. And I mean, I'm gonna put in a clip if I can find it of how our living room looked for the majority of the first year that we lived here. It was so bare, it was not decorated at all. It was just not it. So the living room has had quite the glow up, and again, I'm just so happy with it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.